Yes, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you very much for joining myself and K-Mac today. We're going to bring you another Liverpool show. We're going to be talking about our good start of the season, the impressiveness of Arne Slot, and what can Liverpool do this season. So we're going to be discussing that tonight. Big up to everyone in the chat. Much love for everyone being here. I do appreciate it. I know I'm live the same time as Sam. I don't usually go live the same time as Sam. I actually thought his show was earlier on in the evening. I didn't think he went this late on the Sunday, which is why I went late. So yeah, big up to everyone being here. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Obviously, you know what to do around here. Subscribe to K-Mac as well. Yeah, we got a lot to chat about K-Mac Club before we start. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I didn't know Sam wasn't live. I thought he was always live.
He's always live. Yeah, he's always live. But he's got to tell why he's showing. That's usually, I think it usually finishes by an hour on a Sunday. So yeah, so,
he has time off. Wow.
yeah, man's busy. Man, love the guy.
He is.
Love
he
the
is.
guy. Love the guy.
Wow.
Big up to everyone in the chat. That intro is crazy. Big up LJ. Big up LJ. What's wrong with the intro, man? What's wrong with the intro? Big up everyone in the chat. We're all doing well. What's this? FSG signed a Netflix deal to show us who the Red Sox. What? I did not know about this. I have missed this news. What's this? Do you know anything about K-Mac?
Do you know so they've signed a Netflix deal. It's to do a couple of things actually. I actually think they've sold the Jurgen Klopp documentary thing, which happened last year, to them as well. So we'll see what happens.
Wow,
making more money. Everyone's going to hate it.
Yeah, bringing in the cash. So you're telling me I'm getting a Vince McMahon and FSG documentaries on Netflix in the same year? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, I can't, man. That's too much to handle. It's too much to handle. Big up everyone in the house. I appreciate joining us. Big up Colin as well. Double A in the chat as well. And yeah, we're talking about the McAllister injury. I don't think it. Actually, let's talk about the McAllister injury now because it is international break. What I've read is just a knock. I think the coach, is it Scolari? I believe he said it's more muscle tiredness than anything else. That's what I'm hearing in a way. He's travelling. He hasn't come back to Liverpool, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Hopefully, he doesn't play the next game, and then
I don't think I think Scolari said he's not going to take part in the next game, but
that's great.
He's still travelling with the squad, which tells you it's nothing that bad, guys. It's nothing too bad. You got to think with McAllister as well. Man played the whole of the Copper, won the thing, had a little holiday, started pre-season, started the season. So he's probably a little shattered as well, to be absolutely fair. So
could do with a week off, 2 weeks off.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not too worried about McAllister. Look, if we need McAllister that desperately for Nottingham Forest at home, then we've probably got bigger things to worry about, guys. So
we probably have.
Right, starting from there, low. Our start the season came at 3 wins out of 3. I believe it's 7 goals scored, none conceded. I believe we have the best attacking XG and the best defensive XG in the league so far. What's your take on the start of the season, my man?
I mean to be honest, like all I wanted really was I just wanted us to be a bit tighter at the back because we've been really bad at defending for long periods in the last 2 years, and Slot came in and just sorted that out straight away. Like, there's never been an issue with our attack. There's just never been an issue with our attack. It's just we concede goals and we put the team under so much pressure to score more goals because the opposition scored so many goals in the first 15 minutes in games, and now that's stopped, and we just look solid. And I just love the fact that the game's 2-0. He just shuts shop and he's like, I'll bring some subs on, whatever. Imagine with Lee Carsley against England.
Yeah. Lee Carsley at the moment, man. He's talking about bad PR. Yeah, Lee Carsley might have. I don't understand the whole singing the national anthem thing. I mean, what's it?
I mean, Harry Kane sings it, but you can't understand him anyway.
Yeah, but
you always hear him, and you're like, "Are you even speaking English, mate?" Like,
and he also shouldn't be playing because he's crap now. You
yeah,
know what I mean? It's like, who cares? I don't really care. People like Sven-Goran Eriksson. I watched Sven-Goran Eriksson's documentary last night on Amazon. By the way, if no one's watched it, go and watch it. It's a
I
quality
will actually watch
documentary.
that.
You
It's a good
forget
shout.
how good he was as a manager, man.
He was.
I mean,
really
he
good.
took Gothenburg. His first job as a manager was at Gothenburg. And when he took over Gothenburg, they were actually a part-time side. They're a
Didn't he get
part-time
them into,
football
like,
club.
didn't
He
he
won
get
the
them quite
UEFA Cup
far
with
in
them.
Europe?
Yeah, he won the UEFA Cup.
Oh, did he win the UEFA Cup? I thought he
He
got to a
won the
final. I didn't know he won
he
it.
won the UEFA
Wow.
Cup with Gothenburg. And they were a part-time team when he took them over. Yeah, legendary manager. But yeah, I was watching that last night, and when they were talking about Lee Carsley not singing the national anthem, how much of a disgrace it is because he played for Ireland. And then Sven-Goran Eriksson is lauded as this great man. He's Swedish. So I mean, what are we doing? PR's mad.
It is a bit crazy. I mean, Lee Carsley. There was conversations with Ireland, by the way, recently for Lee Carsley. Like he was actually in conversations for a job because he didn't know whether he was going to get. I mean, at the end of the day, he was just England under-21 manager. Like if Ireland
Yeah.
came along, he might go for it. I think we'll be good with him, by the way. Like, look at where Trent played.
Yeah. I mean, I think Trent will be, if Lee Carsley gets a job, I think Trent will be his right back.
Oh God, he was unbelievable in that game.
That pass he made for Anthony Gordon was ridiculous. I think it's been shown all over social media, ain't it? That outside of the foot pass,
like a 9-iron, wasn't it?
To Anthony Gordon, it had bend, curve, it had everything on it, man.
Crazy.
He went into his path as well.
I know.
The best path.
He just dropped onto his foot. Like all he had to do was run forward. Like amazing.
Trent reminds me of Tony Cruz. That's who he reminds me of. With the ball at his feet.
Let's hope he doesn't remind Real Madrid of Tony Cruz.
Yeah. You can stay away, Madrid. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because he's not there now.
But look, let's get on about the Liverpool. And yes, like Double A says here about the defensive structure. What is it you and me screamed about the last two seasons? We never were unhappy about our attacking play because it's a bit hard to be unhappy when you got the people we have in our attack. But it's always our defensive structure, wasn't it? And I know, look, Eddie makes a good point in the chat as well about 3 games. So we're only going on the 3 games, by the way, guys. We're going to talk about the rest of how we could go on for the rest of the season and what our goals and objectives are this year. But the first 3 games of the season that we were away to Ipswich, 12:30 kickoff.
Tough game.
Tough game because Ipswich has just got promoted. They play under a very good coach in McKenna, who's got them playing a certain style of football. They know what they're doing. And that could be a banana skin for a Premier League team.
Unbeaten at home for a year as well, by the way.
Yeah, so it's a banana skin. It's a potential banana skin, right?
Yeah.
They're up for it. The crowd was up for it. We all know what happened when Arsenal went to Brentford when they first got promoted. They're banana skin games, difficult ones to take. They had 0 big chances in that game. Yeah, they had a lot of pressure in the first half, but really didn't create anything. 0% on big chances, and Liverpool comfortably win that game 2-0. I believe Liverpool would have gone behind in that game if that was last season.
Yeah.
We start to see Say under slot in that game, the way he plays, his defensive structure. He's trying to get in the team. Then we play, who is it we play next? We play Brentford, don't we? It's Brentford at home. It should be a win. There's no doubt about that. And it was a win. It was a comfortable win at the end of the day. We limited Brentford to no real chances. Yet again, better defensive structure.
Their only chances were set pieces, which is their bread and butter, basically.
And every team, I think there's this myth that goes around that teams don't concede chances. It's like, every team on planet Earth concedes chances. You should say, well,
Manchester City conceded 2 massive chances against Ipswich at home. Do you remember that?
Man City went behind against Ipswich.
And they went behind.
Yeah, so everyone concedes his chances, right? And again, limiting the chances. But in the second game, you're seeing a little bit more on what Slot wants to impose on this side. And then we get to the Man United game, which is like his toughest challenge so far. That's what the media are putting out.
I never said that, by the way. I
No,
never said
this
that.
is the media.
I said it's a mid-table. It's a mid-table team.
We all know it was cozy time, but the media made it out like Man United were, because they've just bought some average defenders for a lot of money, that they're back, and Ten Hag's back, and Ten Hag's the best Dutch football manager around, and this is Arne Slot's guy. Arne Slot turned up at Old Trafford like he owns the joint. He didn't care. No shits given whatsoever. Couldn't give a damn.
In his interviews, he was just like, rivalry.
What? He came out. Look,
is it rivalry?
He came out like this. They told my man it was his hardest test so far as Liverpool manager, and it was arguably our easiest game out of 3 matches.
Yeah, it was.
It
really was one of the easiest games.
Turned up like he owned the place. He turned up like he owned the place. And in his interview after, he dismantled Man United in 2 minutes.
And he also gave everybody a blueprint on how to beat Man United this season.
Yeah, so everyone's going, that's what we're going to do.
Did you watch the face on Roy Keane when he was dismantling him? Roy Keane was just like...
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I know.
And
it's brilliant.
Ten Hag's been there at 3 years and he still doesn't know how to get it done.
It's like, he plays his wing backs really high up. You can catch them on the break. Just make sure when they get it in the middle, you dominate that midfield player. You win the ball and you'll be on them.
Yeah. And they play both their fullbacks really high, like their prime Robbo and
did
Trent.
It twice.
It's just like, it's just what we did. He basically went, look, I've got superior players. You're going to play into our hands, and this is what we're going to do. That is basically what he said.
Apparently, it took Ten Hag 37 minutes to realise that Kobbie Mainoo was not marking Dominic Szoboszlai because he went on the opposite side.
I think it took
and then he swapped him round.
Yeah, I think it took him 37 minutes to realise, hang on, this ain't Jurgen Klopp, it's Arne Slot. And I'm going to get to that bit in a minute as well, because I think Liverpool can do something a bit surprising this season for one reason, which I'll get to in a bit. But look, this is our first 3 games. Ipswich away, difficult banana skin. Brentford at home should be always comfortable win, no matter who's in charge. And away to Man United.
Year, by the way, we only won exactly last year.
And away to Man United, your arch rivals. First 3 games of the season, 7 goals, none conceded. Now, the discourse before the season started came out. You and me, we put our areas.
We laughed at it. We did like.
So the discourse at the beginning of the season is that Liverpool guys struggle. Now, again, we're only 3 games in. We can't predict the future, but I think we have seen enough football in 3 games where we think we can pretty much see where everyone's going to lie, right? Discourse at the beginning of the season, Arne Slot is unproven. He's too much of a big job taking over Jurgen Klopp. It's Man United and Ferguson and David Moyes all over again. The squad's not good enough. Klopp produced miracles. Now, after 3 games, after 3 matches, the discourse is now completely changed. It's, Arne Slot inherited a very good squad from Jurgen Klopp.
It's flip-flopping.
Yeah, he inherited a very good squad. Arne Slot is actually better than we gave him credit for. So, what do you think about the discourse in the media?
It's the flip-flopping where they've gone, he had a really good squad already now. Hang on a minute. A week ago, you were saying they were trash. A week ago, you were saying they needed all of these players signing. And now you're looking at the squad going, wow, Liverpool have got some squad. They've got some squad, and they've got players that can't even get on the bench. And they're players that could play in teams. And I'm just like, for God's sake, it's going to be the same. Eventually we will play a team where we may lose or we may draw.
We're going to lose games this season. It happens. Everyone loses.
And then it's going to be, he's not good enough. Klopp would have won that game. And it's just shut up. Just stop it now. Like,
it's always going to be that discourse.
it's always going to be. There's always going to be this comparison, and then there's also going to be the whole, oh, he hasn't got any players, so FSG haven't backed him, and then they won't back him again, and look, I don't think the guy's ever going to win. Like, even in interviews, they're still talking about him.
It is
And Slot must
irritating.
be just stood there now going, look, and even contracts, like constantly talking about like transfers and contracts, and he literally goes, "I've told you, I don't talk about this stuff. Like, this isn't my remit. I am not the person who deals with these things. If you want to talk about Mo Salah, how he played, I can talk about this all day long. But if you just want to keep on talking about this, then I'm not going to give you an answer." Like, I don't know how long it's going to go until they realise he's not our director of football. Like,
Yeah, he's the head
he's not going to
coach.
tell you about transfers.
They've made it pretty obvious as well. We had this discourse in the summer. He's the head coach. He's not even the manager.
There was two of them
He's
sat
the
next to each
head.
other.
Yeah,
That's the reason why they did it.
Arne Slot is the head coach, and his job is
And he's a bloody good one.
to coach the team. Now, look, Liverpool go lose games this season. Everyone, like me, came out. We're not silly. We go lose games this season. Everyone loses games. Even this amazing Manchester City team lose games of football. It happens, yeah. We're going to come against adversity. We don't know how Slot's going to be under adversity under Liverpool. Same sort of thing I was speaking last season about Xabi Alonso by Leverkusen, not really come under any adversity yet. And let's see what he does when that does happen to him. Eventually. Let's see how good of a coach they are then. So we have to put...
Lose.
And he has lost, and then he won his next game. So that's how you bounce back. I think Gerard Houllier always used to say, good teams never lose two in a row. Yeah. That's what he always used to say. Good teams never lose two in a row. It's all losing games is fine. It happens in life, in football. But good teams never lose two in a row.
You want a reaction, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And, he's going to eventually. Look, so we can't predict the future, but we can see what the first three games. And there's definitely a style of play that we put into place where I think Slot's been clever. I really do, because he's kept what the lads know from Jurgen Klopp. He hasn't got rid of it totally, because Slot's already said himself, attacking wise, it's pretty similar, his style, to Klopp's style in the final third, in that final third phrase of play, but he's got little bits that are different. And the main difference for me to Jurgen Klopp at the moment, and it's a good difference, is that he plays a double pivot. He has protection in front of his defence. In the first three games of the season, and also in pre-season. Let's go to pre-season, because we had a great pre-season, yeah?
Cooking.
John Barnes, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but John Barnes was speaking about this.
It's a brilliant interview.
When he was talking with Gary Lineker, yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And he was talking about when he went, because he went over to the States as an ambassador, didn't he, for Liverpool?
Yeah.
And he was watching Liverpool training. He was listening and talking to Slot and all that, and the tactical things he wanted from the team. That was a little bit different. And you can tell from pre-season to the first three games of the Premier League season that it's not, oh my God, it's night and day, the difference. It's so clear. But there's just little tweaks, ain't there, K-Mac, that he's finding at the moment in a defensive point of view, which is you and me and a lot of the people in the chat and a lot of fans. That's all we wanted to really change. It wasn't nothing to do with the attacking side of the game, was it?
Absolutely. The thing is as well, and this is what I've noticed as well. Like, he does different things in different games. Like, against Manchester United, they had more possession. Like, we were happy to let them have the ball. Like, and against Brentford, we used their set pieces as a way to attack against them. Like, so when they had set pieces against us, they throw everyone up in the box. So he's noticing things from videos and information that he's getting, maybe from the analysis team, or maybe just from himself, because I heard he's a bit of a geek and he just likes watching loads and loads of previous games. And if he's noticing things like Manchester United play all their fullbacks really high up and they never come back, we obviously use that against them. And they try to play long balls through the centre, which we obviously worked out that the Casemiro was their weak link, and we utilised that twice. And then obviously against Brentford, we utilised the fact that they throw everyone up for their set pieces, so we broke on them and scored. I think in each game there's going to be different things that he will do in the games, and it's not just going to be a case of, well, I'm just going to play these tactics and that's it. He's going to play different ways to beat different teams, which is really what I see from him in being a head coach. He's a really good coach.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. And also you got to talk about like in the chat it says there, like we got obviously is it Hulsoff as well?
Yeah,
Johnny Heitinga. Yeah. Johnny Heitinga and Hulsoff are very good tactical coaches as well. They're very good tacticians. I believe is it Hulsoff? He worked with him at Feyenoord. He worked with him at and he worked at Netherlands as well, national team. He's a very good tactician. He's a very good coach by all accounts. And the other good coach, apparently, is Johnny Heitinga, man. He's meant to be an like we know him as a player back in the day, playing for Everton and stuff like that.
He was, I think he took over caretaker manager for Ajax.
Yeah, I think he did for a little bit.
For a bit, and then he's obviously went to West Ham as a coach. Was it Feyenoord in Camberwell?
Yeah, them two work together there.
That's not Heitinga, is it? That's
no Heitinga. Yeah, that's Hulsoff. Heitinga, yeah, Heitinga is he's known to be a very, very good coach behind the scenes. Yeah. People actually talk about, like, we all know him
as a bad defender, by the way.
Yeah, we all know him as a player. A lot of people think
pretty good player.
Yeah, and he played for Everton, teams like that, and people weren't too high on him. He was a Dutch defender, but he's apparently a very good tactician. I know a lot of players talk highly of him. So, look, it seems like Slot's got his guys there, and they're working on something. But as we say, it's only 3 games, so it is very hard for us all to. Oh my God, we're cooking on gas and all that. But look, our next 2 games in the Premier League are Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, both at home, I do believe. And obviously we've got, I think, it's AC Milan in between that and Champions League, which we'll get to in a minute.
And West Ham.
And West Ham in the League Cup, which I'm not too fussed about.
No. I think we could probably win all those games, if I'm honest.
So look, let's look at the Premier League games.
Depends what we play against West Ham. Depends.
Yeah,
I think whether we play a strong team or not.
I think I put a sort of like 70-30 team out of like 70 academy and reserves.
Well, we haven't got any kids anymore.
No, but I think Trey will play.
Trey will play
like that. Yeah. But look, our 2 next Premier League games, both home matches against teams we should beat, Forest and Bournemouth. Obviously, the Forest game is a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday after the national games. But it's a game again we should win, and if we win both these upcoming games, yes, it's been an easy start to our Premier League season. But for some reason, Liverpool aren't allowed easy starts because that's all you ever hear. Oh, Liverpool had these. Man City have had easy starts. Arsenal have had easy starts. Man United have had easy starts. But it's about picking up points quickly, isn't it? And if we win 5 out of 5, if we can win our first 5 games of the Premier League season, Arsenal have got to play Tottenham and Man City in their next 2 Premier League games. I don't see them winning that. There is a world where Liverpool could be at least 5 or 6 points in front of Arsenal after 5 games. Now, I'm not going to go on the thing that can't be caught down and they can't catch Liverpool from 5 points. I'm not that daft. But if you're a Liverpool fan, you're on a slot right now. If that happens, you've got to feel like there's something could happen this season where you've got to keep your feet on the floor, but you got to feel like that you got a special bunch of lads, and anything could be possible, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I think if we manage to pull away, as in that little group at the top. So Manchester City are probably going to win their next couple of games. They got some easy games, haven't they? If the pair of us kind of pull away and we're like 5 points, 6 points clear of the rest of the pack, you would think it's probably going to be those 2, towards Christmas. We have got a horrible November though. Have you seen the games we've got in November?
Yeah, because Arsenal
Oh
got
God.
a very bad October where they've got to play Liverpool, Chelsea. I think they got Liverpool, Chelsea. I think Man City and Atlanta, I believe, something like that. And then we've got a difficult period as well. So yeah, there's difficult
Can I read
games.
the game? Can I
Go
read
on,
you the games?
go on.
I took a screenshot because they're that bad. So when we come back from the international break, the second one, 30th of October, we've got Chelsea at home.
Yeah,
Then we've got on the Wednesday Leipzig away, who beat by Leverkusen, by the way.
yeah,
Then on the Sunday we've got Arsenal away. Then on the Saturday, the 2nd of November, we've got Brighton at home. Then on the Tuesday we've got Leverkusen at home. then on the Saturday we've got Villa at home. Then on the Saturday afterwards we've got Southampton away, which is an easy one. But then on the Wednesday we've got Real Madrid, and then we've got Manchester City at home after that.
yeah. It's
It's only
absolutely
Southampton where we might get a bit of a
cushion. But I think City,
cushion.
Liverpool, I believe City, Arsenal, and Liverpool have all got the same difficult fixture pile up. So look, as you say,
Oh,
this
have
is
we?
Liverpool's.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
we've all got similar pile ups. So it's whoever probably gets through the most points in that pile up. So as you see, Liverpool Saturday games at home of Forest. Then we're away in the Champions League, which is we're going to touch on Champions League in a minute, guys.
It's a tough
Then
game.
then the following Saturday, both 3:00 kickoffs, by the way. We're at home to Bournemouth. So our two home games, our two next Saturday fixtures are both home games against Forest and Bournemouth. Look, we should be winning both of them. Then we got the League Cup game in the midweek, and then we're away to Wolves, who are dog turd at the moment. Let's face it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
This is a very good start for Liverpool. I'm expecting maximum points. I'm expecting maximum points all the way to Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'm expecting 6 wins out of 6.
I'm not like I don't know about the AC Milan one. Like if we got a draw, it wouldn't be the end of the world because it's our first Champions League away game, and it's quite a tough one. I know we've gone there and spanked them before. Like I know that, but I don't know. Like I'd be okay with a draw after that one, but I would definitely want a win out of all of the others. Just because it's our first one, like, and it's away, like.
Yeah,
I want to win all our games, obviously. Like I want to win all our games, obviously, but
so
that one's quite a tricky one.
These are important games. Like I think, look, if I'm thinking what Slot will do, the Forest game I think will be the first game where he changes the 11 because of the international break, and he might just be wary of just keeping McAllister fit for maybe the AC Milan game in midweek. So it might be the first game.
Elliot didn't play in the under-21s, did he?
No, Elliot's not been playing, and Darwin's not gone on an international break, and Chiesa's obviously not gone on an international break.
They might all get game. They might all get some game time.
There's some players there that can definitely come in, but this is what I'm saying. The start of our fixture list has been kind for Arne Slot. We can't discard that, but you still got to win the games in front of you. You know, we've had easy fixtures before, and we don't pick up points all the time. So, I look at it and think at this moment in time, the way we're playing on this high, we should win our first 6 games of the season. Wolves away will be tricky, but Wolves are they're so bad.
Smashed by Chelsea.
Yeah, they're so bad.
7-2 or 6-2 or something.
Yeah, 6-2.
7-3 or 6-2. They were terrible.
But we've got a Champions League game, and that's what I want to talk about here. And we'll carry on talking about fixtures in a minute. The Champions League game. Look, we obviously want to do well in the Champions League. It's what Liverpool are known about, doing well in Champions League. How do you think?
I'm just going to have a look at AC Milan.
Yeah, I don't know how AC Milan are like there at the moment.
Yeah,
but
neither do I at the moment.
The Champions League journey, look, we know our group. We've got a difficult group. Big up John with the super chat. Appreciate it, love, man. Much love to you. Milan haven't started well. LK says Milan haven't
2
started well.
draws and 1 loss.
Fonseca
They're
seems
14th.
dedicated to a high line, but the players can't cope. Well, if
Yeah,
AC Milan play high line against Liverpool, it's good night Vienna.
Yeah, they're done. Like they've only got two points so far. They're 14th, 2 draws and a loss. I mean, they've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek in midfield, mate.
Yeah, big up 40-year-old Virgil. Yeah,
they've got Emerson Royale in their defence. How bad is he?
Yeah, like this age that the champ. I think that's quite a kind opener. I love going away to Italian teams. Don't get me wrong. Champions League night. It's a proper Champions League game. AC Milan Liverpool at the San Siro. It's a proper Champions League game, but it's going to be a good one. But it's our Slot. Slot doesn't. This is the first time I think in his actual coaching managing career, because it's at such a high level, and the intensity of the Premier League is completely different to the Dutch league, and the Champions League football as well. This is the first time he's probably got to think about looking after players and rotation, ain't it, K-Mac? Not saying he hasn't done it in his career, but the differences of pressure being at Liverpool one, and then the intensity of the Premier League. And I think he's going to cope with that. Because for me, he just seems like he doesn't give a shit. But
no, I don't think he does. I mean, the interesting one was the Ipswich game. He took off all the defenders, so he subbed all the defenders. Then the Brentford game, he subbed all the strikers, and then the Man United game, he just took off players that he felt needed a rest, like that played well enough. You know, he took off Trent, he took off Salah, he took off Diaz. You know, he took off guys that had put a real shift in, and Robbo as well. He took off Robbo. I just don't. I don't think he sees it like the previous guy. Like I don't think he's like, oh, I'm not going to take him off in case I hurt his feelings, or he's been my guy for so long. Like how, like I can't show any disrespect. He's just like, yeah, mate, you're coming off, you're knackered. Like I don't want to red line you. Like you played really well. You scored 2 goals. Like with Diaz was on a hat trick.
Yeah. And
Diaz won a hat trick, and he took him off about 60 odd minutes, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, if I was on a hat trick against Man United, I'd be like, "Come on, boss."
Yeah, let me have his hat
like
trick.
These are here for the taking.
It's probably going to come, but he doesn't seem to like. He had that little, not an argument with Trent, but he sort of just told Trent that the only reason I've taken you off because I need you. I need you
I have a minute on
the 35th game of the season, not just the third game of the season.
Yeah,
that's basically what I told him.
Can I have a minute on that?
Yeah, and the next game, Trent looked great. He looked happy. Go on, man.
I personally like. I actually think he did 2 really, really amazing managerial things, which make the rest of the team go, ooh. So the Ipswich one, they were crap first half. Like we can't say they weren't crap. Like they were losing all the duels. They weren't holding the ball up well, and we were getting overrun, and we were getting beaten to a lot of 50-50s by Ipswich. He can't take Virgil off. Like he can't take Virgil off in his first game, like because that's really making a statement. So I think he made the other choice, which was, he took the guy that was next to him and basically said, look, if you're not doing well in the first half, I'll just take you off. And that was a big statement because the rest of the team played out the skin second half.
Mm-hmm.
With the Trent thing, Trent came off, Trent had a face on, and then the boss went up to him. And people can read into it how you want, like, oh, he was explaining things. No, I think he was literally saying, what's up with you? Like, what's wrong with your face? Like, you know why I took you off? And he's gone, ugh. And then the other game, he's taken him off as a way to see whether he's learned his lesson. Like I've told you not to act like that. Like, you know why you were taken off. And he's took him off again just to show him, like, I'll take you off again, mate. Like you're not staying on because you got a cop on. Like, I'll take you off. And he's literally gone, yeah, I'm taking you off, mate. The thing about it though, and and read into this how you will. If this does happen again and again, we probably should read into it that maybe Trent might not be staying, because if he's constantly bringing Bradley on in games, maybe it's because he wants Bradley to play more, because Bradley might end up being the replacement for him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's happening, but I'm reading it into it like that. If that happens over and over again, like he keeps on taking him off, like, you know, just after half time, blah 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 blah, then I might start reading into that a bit more. But so far so good.
I mean, also he's got to, he's got to see how good Bradley is as well. I think he wants Bradley.
Yeah, I know.
He wants teams to fight as well to take someone's position. He ain't worried about that. He wants people to fight. He's got his strongest 11, what he thinks, and we've seen it in the first 3 games of the Premier League season. The first 3 games of the season has been unchanged for me. That's Slot saying that's my strongest 11. But Quincy says it right here. Question is, how will a changed team play? Now, Slot's not had to change a team yet, so we that's something we need to watch to find out, really. But depends what changes he makes. Depends how many. I mean, if he changes Luis Diaz,
he's made 4 and 5 in games in all the games.
He's made in-game changes. He's made very good substitutions.
Yeah, very good.
Early in games as well.
Yeah.
If he starts with a different side, like, I don't know, drops out Diaz for a Chiesa, I don't think much difference changes, because Chiesa's a quality footballer. If Darwin plays for Jota, again, I don't think a lot changes. I think, the thing that we're only changing that is that Darwin's not a link-up man, so you probably lose a little bit of link-up. So he might change to another midfielder. You might put an Elliott in just to link it up a little bit more instead of Szoboszlai, something like that, and give him a rest. So we don't know till it happens, obviously, because he's only done in-game changes. So that's one to look out for, Quincy, to be fair. And say we're not quite sure yet. But I want to talk one player. I think he's sort of like, I think every manager, no matter who they has a pet project. I think they do. I think all players have a pet project, yeah? Mr. Gravenberch. Now, he was cooking for the Netherlands yesterday. He was.
We talk about all our international players.
Yeah, they're all good. But
cooking.
I watched a bit of Gravenberch and I was like, wow. Like, he's picking up the ball. Yeah. Gravenberch is basically playing that deep line role for the Netherlands like he does for Liverpool. And for me, he's a deep line player. I know a lot of people think he can play in the 10 and all that. I don't think he can. I don't think that's his game. He likes to play. He wants to play on the half turn, picking up the ball in deep positions and, controlling the game from an anchoring position, running from deep. He's an athlete as well, Gravenberch. He's a good ball runner. We've seen it in the first 3 games of the season. If he's got the chance to drive further into midfield, he will drive further into midfield with the ball. He's got no worries about that. But I feel like this might be, Arne Slot's maybe little pet project. He's going, look, I've got this Ryan Gravenberch kid here. He's only 22. And people tell me I need this and I need that. And Slot might be thinking, I'm going to prove you're wrong and make this kid a superstar.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I also think that, like, you're expecting Gravenberch to do a lot of things by himself if he's not in a double pivot in that position. There's really not that many players that can do that role. Like, there's just a handful. And you're looking for a unicorn to be that one defensive midfielder guy on his own. Like, you really are. And you're kind of looking for a guy that can do everything to a really high standard and have the athleticism to be able to win all the challenges and to play all those passes and be really intricate and cover so much ground and, win your aerials and all of that stuff. Like, there just isn't that many guys that can do that, like, consistently in that position. But you've got Grav, that can do a lot of those things, but not to a high standard, but he does a lot of those things. You stick a guy next to him who can also do those things, then you've got two really solid players. And that's why you're seeing so much good stuff out of Grav, and you're seeing a lot of good stuff out of Mac as well. And
Yeah,
they can alternate. They can alternate as well. Like one of them can go further forward, one of them can come further back. They've both done that job. And you sit there now and you look at it and you go, maybe that's what we should have done all along. Like for a long time, when it started to not work and we started to concede a lot of goals, maybe we should have done that all along. Just brought another midfielder back and played a pivot, and we might have seen a much better Grav last season.
yeah,
we did.
I think, and if you look at Gravenberch as well, is that we didn't play many games of Bayern Munich that year, and you can see why now, because Gravenberch don't want to play advanced. He wants to play in that deeper role. And for Bayern Munich, they had Kimmich and what's his name? What's the
I can't pronounce his name.
What's the German midfielder's name? It's gone right in my head. Yeah, come to me in a minute. Someone in the chat would
quite old. It's like 28, 29.
Yeah, and they would have
Goinkres. Is it Goinkres or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And it's gone right in my head.
Yeah,
Goretzka.
Goretzka.
That's it. Goretzka. So Goretzka and Kimmich, were more the deep line makers in the Bayern Munich team at times. So it was hard for Gravenberch to get in there. That's where he wants to play. And yeah, Gravenberch has got, look, I know people talk about a DM, like DM this, DM that, and we all talk about it because we all think we need one. And we do need one, but we don't need a DM of the terms that people think is a DM, if that makes sense. We're not after an Ugarte as a DM. We're not after a Polinia as DM. That's not what we're after. We're after a Pilo-like type defensive midfielder, a Pirlo type. That's what we're after. That's what Zubimendi was. That's why Slot wanted Zubimendi, because he's that
Pirlo like said, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Barnsley said it as well. He's that deep line playmaker. He's not. They don't want an aggressive smash mouth DM as such. That's and it's not like I haven't seen many players run past Gravenberch so far.
No, I haven't.
Or McAllister. I think it helps McAllister because against Man United, McAllister was actually the deepest of the two.
He was,
but what happens if Gravenberch gets forward? This is what I like about Slot at the moment. If one of the double pivot players go forward, Trent inverts and makes a double pivot with the other person. And then we got that back. Yeah, and then we got that back three behind. So
you've got a 3-3. It's a 3-3.
Yeah. So if you get past him, you can pass him. You then got to get past Vert. So there's an extra step to get to the defence. And then it also leaves us with a fourth player in a forward position that joins the forward three. So it gives you a beautiful balance. And like Song 4K says here, Slot said that Trent conceded a chance of a long pass and Diaz failed to track back. It's Slot's demand for no slacking. Yeah.
That was that was in his interview,
Previously,
he named players. He named players in his interview.
It doesn't
I love
care.
it.
It doesn't care. Like Klopp,
and he subbed both those players, by the way. Songs.
Klopp wouldn't mind Trent. Klopp wouldn't mind Trent going direct for his first pass because that's just the way he liked to play. Yeah, he wouldn't mind it, right? If it didn't come off, it didn't come off. He wouldn't mind him doing it again and again and again. What Slot's saying is he doesn't mind if you take an extra touch and then play a short pass, because it's about keeping a ball. And I think that is why we're better defensively. I think Jamie Carragher said it as well. One of the reasons we're better defensively this season so far is because we're not giving away possession stupidly like we did last season. We're being more careful with it. If you want an extra touch, take the extra touch and then just make the simple pass. And it came back. There's a little bit of a change in it.
And what we've also got is we've got more players in that area to offer options for the pass, because the opposition used to just flood us and we'd end up panicking and Trent would have to play a Hollywood pass because he didn't have anyone else to pass it to. But but everybody's around that area now, and we don't commit too much either side, which I
No.
think is just a really good balance. Like it works so well. Like, and against Manchester United, like Dominic Szoboszlai kept on coming into our midfield. So he'd come back to the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and then we'd have an overload on the left or on the right with him, an underload on their own press. So then we had the extra man to just play the ball like out to, and their press couldn't cover that. And then we still had 3 attackers. Like it's really clever. Like it is really clever play.
Yeah.
And you look at it, and some like 442 magazine did a piece on it, like a video. It's absolutely brilliant. Like if you watch it, the guy's really annoying, and he's got the Sabutio bits on the table. I can't remember his name. He's really annoying, like, and he thinks he's funny, but the way he explains it's really good. And we've got these little patterns that we play, and like everyone can sit there and go, oh well, it's what Jurgen Klopp would have done. It's just not. Like it's just not. These patterns of play are unique, and they've been put into play by Slot. Like they are purposely there for that reason, and they've been implemented, and they're now getting used over and over again. And you can just see it in the game. Like you watch it happen in front of you, like, oh, we're in loads of space now because we've done that pattern of play, and now the guy's free. Oh, it's Mo Salah. Oh, it's Diaz. And you just watch it and think, that's just great. Like, I'm so excited about it, mate. I love watching us play football now.
It's us just taking a little bit more care of possession, which is
Yeah.
something I got really angry with last season. Look, Liverpool had a good year. I'm not going to pretend Liverpool didn't do well last season. We finished with 86
We were
points.
in it to the end, pretty much.
Yeah, we got
Just
86 points. 86 points, won a trophy, and injuries killed our season at the end. Yeah, we got knackered. We couldn't carry on. We was running on absolute fumes, and we needed the season to end towards the end of the season. It just fizzled out. But what I'm liking at the moment is that he's not afraid for the players to just take that little bit more care and possession and take an extra touch if you needed. You know, I think there was a thing where Diaz did a flick with his heel when he gave away the ball, and Slot went mad on the sideline. And it's like, don't do it. You don't need to. Just take the extra touch, keep the possession, because we've got them where we want them. And you're just giving the ball away, and then they got a counter attack. We don't need that. Just keep the ball. Sometimes, look, Liverpool might be a little bit more boring at times than they were in previous years, because we might decide, you know, we're 2-0 up. We don't need to score a third and a fourth. Let's just keep the ball, take an extra touch if you need to, keep possession. And it's not keeping possession for the sake of it. It's not just playing in front of the team. You're still trying to create chances, but instead of trying to flick or a 30-yard smash up field when you're not sure your player's going to win the ball, so you might get turned over and you turn over possession. Slots rather just play an extra touch, play a 5-yard pass, just play a 5-yard pass. You know, it's just it's that different mindset. And because I think our possession is better and we're keeping possession better, I think we're not making the silly mistakes we made last season where we're conceding chance after chance after chance either. Oh, look, I'm going to say something crazy as well. Big up the scraps in chat. And I know it's only 3 games gone, guys. So, as I say, we can only look at it
early.
I'm going to say it earlier. It's only 3 games gone. It's only 3 games gone, right? But I think at the moment, this Liverpool team have got the best balance I've seen in a Liverpool team since the Premier League winning side. Like the balance of the team. You know, both fullbacks don't go. It's a bit old school. If one fullback goes, the other one stays. If you got the double pivot in midfield, if one goes, one stays, and then the fullback joins and makes another double pivot, gives you balance in that area. We go to a back 3. You know, we stretch out in a back 3. We're not as high up as we have been previously. The press we put on is more of a contained press, where 3 players will go and 4 players will stay. It's more of a contained press. again, I know it's only 3 games gone, but I just feel like the balance of the side at the moment and the balance of the midfield with McAllister. So we're playing a 6, an 8, and a 10. That's what we're playing in our midfield 3 at the moment. Last season we played a 6 and 2 8s. I just feel like the balance at the moment in the first 3 games is the best I've seen our team since the Premier League winning side. Now I might be mad.
I don't disagree. I think as well. I think because what we do as well is we drop the forward into the attacking midfield. So we have this box of 4 players like this, and we just contain the opposition. We contain the opposition, and I've seen it in so many games where we completely surround the opposition, and the guy who's just been swamped by us just stands there like that, going, like, Odegaard did it in the pre-season. Like, the amount of times Kobbie Mainoo got caught on the ball, like, because we just swamped him. Fernandez did it. We just swamp players because we've got this containment in the team now where they're not too spread apart. You look at when we had possession in defence, we now completely split the centre backs, so they come straight out, and then the goalkeeper steps into the middle to play as like an extra defender with the ball, or one of our defensive midfielders, not a defensive midfielder, but as a defensive midfielder, drops in. And I just like watching us play football. I like the fact that we don't look overrun. Like, how many times has the goalkeeper had to make a one-on-one save this season?
I think only in the Man United game when they got like
a one-on-one, like a clear one-on-one.
I don't think
it's happened.
Yeah, look, Xerxes' 2 chances came from set pieces, didn't they?
Not one-on-ones.
No one-on-ones really.
Running at the goalkeeper, like literally running at the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
one-on-one.
we conceded a lot.
We were doing that so many times over the last 2 years. Like, just cutting that out of your game has got to help so much. And I look at the players when they come off the pitch. They don't look like they've ran a huge amount of a shift. Like, they don't look like they've really put in a huge amount of exerted effort, apart from Szoboszlai.
Don't stop.
But that's just Szoboszlai. But they really don't look like they're completely overrun. Like,
Yeah,
look,
I'll
go earlier than you. Like, for me, if we didn't have this weird Champions League phase thing, which is new to anybody, I honestly feel like we could win the league. Like, I do think we could win the league, but I think this Champions League thing might be a bit.
I think I see someone else here put it in the chat. I think this Champions League format is going to mean that a lot of leagues might suffer for a little bit because it's so many difficult games in amongst difficult league games as well. I don't see anyone hitting 90 Premier League points this season. I really don't. It's all very difficult. It's not 2 easy group games and a dead rubber third like 6th game. And don't forget the Champions League. There's no Christmas break. It goes into January this year.
I know.
It finishes.
Just doesn't stop.
The league group stages finish in January, and then I think there's a couple of week break, and then it restarts again in maybe end of February, March time. I think something like that, and then it continues till June. I think the final.
Yeah.
So
well, if you're not if you're not in that high phase, you're playing anyway. Like, because you're going to be doing the knockout phases, or I don't know what they're called. Like.
And it's 4 or 5 extra games. 4 or 5 extra games.
I think it's 8 games in it, isn't it? 8 games.
Yeah, so 36 in a league. You only play a team 8 times. Look, basically, you could still have dead rubber.
We all sat there though, and we thought, oh yeah, it's 8 games. There's going to be loads of easy. There isn't any easy ones. There's no easy games.
No, it's not. But the thing is, if you win 4 games, then the last 2 games probably ain't going to matter so much. Big up Drew, who says we still need a 6. Gravenberch is not good enough on the ball.
What?
Whoa.
What games have you been watching?
When we play Arsenal, Villa, City, and Brighton, then we'll see how good we really are. Brighton.
Not Brighton. Oh, not Villa either. Not Villa
I
either.
don't. Again, Drew, I love you, man, but I don't understand this discourse. I really don't. Gravenberch played for Holland the other day and looked brilliant. Gravenberch is very good on the ball.
So
I
did
don't
Gapco,
understand.
by the way. Gapco looked great.
What do you think is the six we need? Because Gravenberch is a defensive midfielder. There's no absolute doubts about it. He is a defensive midfielder. He's just not the defensive midfielder that people think a defensive midfielder is. The game's changing a little bit. I mean, if you look at Rodri don't just sit back and tackle. He defends high up the pitch as well. He wins balls back in the opposition's final third and squeezes play. Yeah. You know, the DM role's changing. You know, you've got people like Ugarte and Polina who are probably actual DMs. They're limited on the ball.
Dying breed.
Yeah.
It's a dying breed.
It depends what you think a DM is. I think Gravenberch is a DM. I think Andre.
I think he's great in a double pivot. I think he's great in a double pivot.
And I keep saying this, and I'll always say this. Good. The system makes the defensive midfielder, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at McAllister played deeper against Man United than Gravenberch did. And McAllister playing DM in a Klopp system got overrun because of the way the system was. None of our midfielders got overrun in their first 3 games. Now, people talking about Brighton. I've watched Brighton closely at the start of this season. Brighton are technically good on the ball. Off the ball, they're terrible. They're weak. They're not a very strong side. You can get at them.
Defense.
They're not very aggressive. They're not very aggressive. And Villa, no. I think the 2 teams are City and Arsenal. City and Arsenal. That's where we see. That's where we see us lie. I don't get this Villa and Brighton thing. I really don't. I
actually do worry a little bit about Chelsea as well because I just don't know what they're going to do.
You don't know what's going to happen with bloody Chelsea. Chelsea could finish first
so
or
many players.
19th. I just don't know what Chelsea are going to do, man.
They've got 3 Portuguese internationals in their team, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got Neto, Felix, and the defender whose name I can't remember, who's in the Portuguese squad. Yeah, they're the ones that I'm a little bit like. I just don't know what you're going to get with them.
The passing's not for me. Sorry, the passing don't have to be amazing. That's the whole blend of the team. That's the blend of the team. You don't need. I think he's better passing than you give him credit for, my friend. Kante, Anana, Essien, Casemiro in Fabinho defensive 6. Not everyone needs to be a box-to-box player, given Graham's passing is not good enough. Wow, Drew. You really don't rate Gravenberch at all. He's been our best.
Sounds like me last season. You sound like me last season.
Don't rate Gravenberch at all, man. Okay, Drew, big up, man. Big up. When we have our next call-in show, Drew, come in, man. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Kante's not a DM. He's a box-to-box midfielder.
Box-to-box.
Essien was a box-to-box midfielder.
Essien was box-to-box.
Casemiro was a DM back at Madrid. Anana, he's just shit. Fabinho, Fabinho was a proper DM. He wasn't really box-to-box. But you don't really have them players that are like them players you've listed there. Like, Nana's terrible. Apart, like, Kante was box-to-box, Essien was box-to-box, Casemiro was DM. Casemiro in his day at Real Madrid was tremendous. The Casemiro we see now is finished. Fabinho at his time at Liverpool was world-class as well. I don't think there's many of them DMs around now, to be fair, Drew. I really don't. I mean, I look
like you said, it's a dying breed. It's a dying breed.
I look at Lavia at Chelsea. Lavia looks, in the 2 games Lavia's played for Chelsea, he's looked better than, what's his name?
Other 2?
The other,
Casado.
He's looked better in Casado, and he's not a DM like Casado is. He's more of an anchor man who plays a bit deeper but can play with the ball. He's good at passing, can take players on. Kobe Mainu in that deeper position like that sort of thing. Yeah, it depends what you want in a DM. But I don't think there's many of that around these days. Unless you want to put Gravenberch, unless you want to put Ugarte and Polina in that role. but I think Pellegrini was the most overrated defensive midfielder I've ever seen in my life. People spoke about him like he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So Fulham used to get battered. I mean, what are we doing here?
I did like him though. I did want him.
Yeah, I just.
Adam Morton's not a DM. Adam Morton's not a DM. Can you stop talking about him like a DM? He's not. Adam Morton is not a DM.
No, he's not. He's a deep line playmaker.
Yeah, he's a really good passer of the ball, Adam Morton.
Yeah, but big up to Drew. I love Drew. So Drew, when we got a calling show, man, I'd love you to come on and have your say, because it's so hard to do it in the chat. I know when you're in the chat, it's very hard to say everything you need to say. So next time I have a calling show, man, come on and we'll have a chat, man. Good to hear from you, Drew. I hope you're doing well, man. We basically, Jay, have 3 interchanging 8s, which seem to be working. Yeah, and that's why the balance is good at the moment. And I want to get to one player as well. Yeah, Lavia, a bit like a budget Tchouaméni. I mean, Tchouaméni at the moment, by the way, Madrid don't really want him.
Yeah, but he's not coming. He's not coming.
No, but Madrid don't really want him. Tchouaméni should just join when he had the choice. When he had the chance, he's going to not have a good career at Real Madrid. I don't think he'd be there long. But yeah, I want to talk about Szoboszlai a minute. Now, Szoboszlai, for me, hasn't shown his full potential as a footballer for Liverpool yet. I think we can all agree with that. You know, he's on the ball, and what he does with the ball, we've not seen the proper Szoboszlai yet. But I tell you what, Szoboszlai off the ball, Jesus Christ, he's arguably our most important midfielder off the ball. His workload that he puts through, his running, he's a machine. His athleticism, do you know how many grand jewels he actually wins? It's mad. You know, he's. Look, I'm going to say it now. He's Liverpool's Valverde. Now, people don't come at me, right? But if you look at what Valverde does for Real Madrid, Valverde is probably a better footballer than he's showing at Real Madrid on the ball right now. He'll get the odd goal and a great assist and pass the ball really well. But it's what he does off the ball that Ancelotti loves. It's his running. It's his getting back and winning the ball back in deep positions and stopping counter-attacks and, you know, running back in defensive positions. He's a machine. You know, he's an absolute machine. And I think Szoboszlai, I think Valverde is a better footballer than Szoboszlai, so don't come at me, guys. But what I'm saying is he's our version of Valverde from Madrid. Because if you notice the one midfielder that always plays for Madrid, it's Valverde for reasons. But they're not obviously at the same level. I think everyone knows what I mean. You get what I mean, don't you, K-Mac?
I totally get what you mean. I think this season we're going to see something really special from Dom. Like I do. Like and a lot of the fans are going to be like, okay, that's the player we signed. That's the player we signed. And it's going to be about assists. It's going to be about goals. It's going to be about domination of the game. Like, I think so far this season, I think he's got about a 95% pass completion in the final third. Like, to be able to pass the ball to that high standard in the final third is one of the hardest things you can do on a football pitch. Because that's where all the madness happens. That's where you've got midfielders coming in on you. You've got defenders coming in on you. Like, to be able to keep up possession that well in that area of the pitch is so important. And I watched something on Slot where there's a part of the pitch which is called the hot zone, and it's the rectangle which is just outside the penalty box, and no, just outside the D of the actual penalty area, and there's this little rectangle area. If you can get the ball in there, then you've got a really high percentage of being able to score through the centre of the pitch, or to bring their defenders out and to then play the ball wide and get behind them. And if you look at a lot of what Dom does now, he does it in that area now. But
Yeah.
he's also so flexible to be able to do other things like track back, play in midfield more, go wide. Like he's just multifunctional everywhere. And it's his intelligence, which means that if you want him to do certain things, he'll do certain things mid-game, like if it's needed. And he just senses a lot of stuff, like just like, you know what? I'm just going to run through that bit of space there, and potentially I might get the ball, I might not. And he did it. He's done it so many times. I just think he's now the guy that we signed. Like he's going to live up to
Yeah.
that £60 million
Yeah.
price tag. Or was it 70? Was it 70?
Yeah, I can't remember how much it was. I think it was
60 or
60.
70.
But look, he's
Not my
not.
money.
He will. Yeah, exactly. He will get goals for Liverpool. There's no doubt about that. And he will get maybe not assists. He might be the pass before the pass, but he will get the goal here and there from midfield. There's no doubt about that.
I think he's got 2 assists already.
Yeah, he might. I mean, he might. I think. Yeah, I think he might do. But what I like about Szoboszlai, I think the difference from this season to last season, that he's playing box to box in a way like he's similar to last season, but he's playing in more advanced of the defensive too. So, you know, you'd have Gravenberch and McAllister as your double pivot, as your defensive two that cover the back. And if one of them leave, we know Trent goes in and continues that double pivot. There's always a double pivot there. No matter how it looks, it might be a straight line double pivot, or it might be a diagonal double. You know, there's always a double pivot shielding the back three when it goes into the attacking mode. And what Szoboszlai is doing is filling the areas of the pitch that need filling. So if he needs to be on the left side of the pitch in an attacking position, he'll fill it. If he needs to be on the attacking area of the right side of the pitch, he'll fill it. If he needs to be just behind a striker in that gap, he'll fill it, because he's like that extra man in our team now. And then, like we saw the other against Man United, there was a bit where he actually gave away the ball and he ran the whole way back with the attacking player and actually won the ball back.
He did.
He actually won the ball back and started the attack again. And that's why he's so
that was the only pass he gave away, by the way.
Yeah, and that's that for me is why he's extremely important to this way Slot wants to play. And that's why we've got this lovely balance at the moment with McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. You just got a beautiful balance there. And the one we haven't really spoke about so far this season is Gary McAllister. I was almost about to say that. It's Alexis McAllister. We've not really spoken about him, because I don't know about you guys. I think he was a bit slow in the Ipswich game because he didn't have much pre-season, but he's gone so under the radar of the work he's doing.
He's had brilliant second halves in all games, by the way.
Yeah, his form just picks up in the second half, and it's going under the radar actually how good Alexis McAllister has been in these first 3 games. Only came out because all the talk at the moment is about Szoboszlai's work rate and Gravenberch being this key player for us at the moment.
McAllister was sensational against Manchester United. Like it just went under the radar. Look, we're back. Like you said, he's probably feeling himself into the game still because of fitness, and like it's a weird month, in it, the start of the season, because a lot of players haven't had a pre-season. Like to be able to get through that part of the month with 3 wins on the bounce is really good. Like especially the fact that I think there was only like 4 players like that actually started the first game that actually had a pre-season. And one of them got subbed in half time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an interesting one like that. So, but yeah, Mac's been brilliant. Mac was brilliant for Argentina as well, by the way. Like he scored the goal which put them in the lead, and then obviously
he got a little knock. I know everyone. I think people in the chat have been talking about McAllister's knock. So guys, it ain't actually anything bad. Scolari's already said it's not about it. It's nothing to worry about. He's not even being sent home. That tells you everything. and he's actually travelling for the next game for Argentina. So I don't know if he'll play or not, but I don't think it's anything bad. And if he misses that game, he's free for look. If he's free for Saturday, he just makes the bench on Saturday. So be it. You know, these guys can't play every game, but it's not in Forest at home. McAllister needs to sit one out. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. You know, if you go Endo and Gravenberch, just that double pivot against. Well, it depends if Curtis Jones is fit. If Curtis Jones is fit, which I think he's meant to be, you might actually go with Curtis because he passes the ball better at Endo. So it'll probably be Curtis and Gravenberch.
I actually think I've said this a while now. I actually think it'll probably be a rotation where if a McAllister or a Gravenberch or a Szoboszlai comes out, I just think that it will always be Harvey Elliott which comes in, and the others will just rotate. So if McAllister doesn't play, I think Gravenberch plays in his position and Don plays in Gravenberch's position, and then Elliott just comes in. And I just think it will always be rotated like that. Like, I don't think he rates Endo. I don't think he really rates Curtis Jones, if I'm completely honest. And he certainly doesn't rate Tyler Morton because to be willing to send him out on loan. So
yeah,
I think those guys are probably subs. Like, you know, the games being 1-2-0, 3-0. Yeah, we bring Endo on for 20 minutes. You know, Jones will come on for 20 minutes. But I just think that rotation will always happen in midfield. And I'm fine with that. Like, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, you got to look. I think a lot of people go on about Liverpool's depth and squad size, and it got me because everyone kept talking about Liverpool squad size, especially Liverpool fans last week.
Better than any other team. It's better than
I
any other team.
I actually had a look into it. Right, it's as good as any team in the Premier League.
I did a show on it.
Yeah, people are obsessed about squad size. Only Chelsea got the biggest. Look, Chelsea got the biggest squad on planet Earth, but
yeah, they have. Yeah.
Only Man City have got more midfielders, I believe, than Liverpool.
Arsenal have got a lot less than us, by the way.
Yeah, look, and here's something about Arsenal that I will keep banging this drum about. No one has spoke about Arsenal's squad size because they've not had no serious injuries for the last 2 seasons. So no one's talked about their depth. Arsenal have had no serious injuries to their first 11 for the first 2 years. You can go on about Timber, but Timber played 1 game. You know, and by the way, Timber, as a centre-back for Ajax before Arsenal bought him, had one of the lowest aerial duel wins as a centre-back in Dutch football, by the way. He's not great. I'm
not sure he's going to play for Holland again either. Yeah,
no,
kicking off with Weghorst.
He's absolute shit. Yeah, Arsenal's team has never been spoken about by squad depth because they're always fit. They don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, look, I know there's a difference between quantity and quality. I'm with everyone on that. That's why I've always said I wish Liverpool just got one midfielder in the summer. And for me, we're absolutely fine in that area. I do believe we will get the midfielder in January because I do believe Liverpool will buy Zubimendi in January. Just have this feeling. I think it's going to be like the Virgil thing all over again. That's why we didn't go and buy anyone. I know Virgil, like we didn't go and buy anyone when we said no to like Virgil couldn't come to Liverpool in the summer because of the tapping up. We didn't buy anyone. Everyone said we need a centre back. You're mad. What you're doing? We can't ever get Virgil again. And in January we bought him. So I think it's going to be something similar to that. Yeah, if we got that extra midfielder, I'll be even more confident, guys. The squad's all like we've got 4 centre backs. We've got 2 right backs, 2 left backs, 2 very good goalkeepers, 6 forwards, and at the moment 6 first team midfielders. And then you could use Trey as your youth player as this 7th midfielder. I mean, how many more do we need?
You don't. You really don't. I
mean, how many more do we need? I mean, it's just
you really don't. Like Zubimendi's coming in to replace Endo. Like that's just a fact. Like Zubimendi comes in, one of our midfielders goes. Like Morton would have gone, or Endo would have gone. Like it's just a fact. Like you look at Arsenal. Like and I did look at Arsenal. Like if they have an injury, in midfield, they're going to have to play one of their forwards as a midfielder.
Well,
in
Havertz is probably
Havertz,
go. Havertz is
they'd
probably going
have
to
to
play
drop
again.
him into midfield.
He's going to have to play midfield probably because Declan Rice is not available. Obviously, the bloke they got from Sociedad's got a broken
Moreno's
arm.
injured. Yeah.
So Rice and Moreno are not fit. That leaves them with Odegaard, who's not really a central midfielder, Thomas Partey, and Jorginho. That's it.
Jorginho, yeah. And
That's it.
Yeah, they've sold all their midfielders. They sold all their midfielders.
It's because Arsenal have had no injuries for 2 years.
No, they got rid of their depth. They got rid of their depth. I know their depth wasn't great anyway. To be fair, doesn't look like they're that bad though, because the guy they sold to Fulham scored 2 goals in 3 games from midfield. So they might have dropped the ball on him.
Big up Brian as well. I on channel for a while, Brian.
Emil
Smith-Rowe. Yeah, I'm sure they let him go as well. Big up Brian. I ain't seen you on channel for a while. You're doing well, man. Squad size and squad depth is different. Yeah, totally. And I agree with you. But let's look at our squad depth over quality. You know, like the quality of our squad. So Trent and Connor Bradley, I think, are 2 very good right backs. I've got no problem with that. Connor Bradley is a deputy right back to Trent. I ain't got a real problem with that, really. Robbo, I'll say this quietly. I'm going to say this very, very quietly. Robbo's been good for the last 2 games. Right, I've said it quietly. I'm just going to leave it there. Simicast, who a lot of people...
Did you see the Scotland game where he let Ronaldo go?
Yeah, he's like, I can't be fucked with that. I'm only doing it for Liverpool now. I love Robbo. You know what I'm saying? If he was wearing a red Liverpool shirt on that, he would have fouled Rob. He would have fouled Ronaldo. He wouldn't have fucked about.
How you let Ronaldo go? I'm sorry,
he's like for Scotland.
He's like 49.
For Scotland, he's like, I can't give. Robbo looks like he doesn't give a shit playing for Scotland. Sorry, but
he really does. He really does.
But no, in his last 2 games to Liverpool, he's actually looked pretty decent.
He has been good.
Simicast, who a lot of Liverpool fans really like, is our number 2 left back. I'm trying to think of number 2 left backs at other clubs. You know, so a lot of people use youth players.
And we've also got Joe Gomez that can come in there and do.
Yeah, we got 4 centre backs
last season.
Virgil and Canate for me are the best centre back partnership in the Premier League when they're fit.
I think they're the 2 best central defenders in the Premier League.
Yeah, Canate and Virgil are different gravy, and I've said this time and time again. I know people tell me about Gabriel and Saliba. By the way, did anyone see Brighton's goal when Saliba and Gabriel ran away from the ball?
Yeah.
This is what I tell you right now, especially with Virgil van Dijk, right? Could Saliba and Gabriel do what Virgil van Dijk does for Liverpool? The answer is no. Could Virgil van Dijk do what Saliba and Gabriel do for Arsenal? The answer is yes. And like that tells you everything you need to know. Canate started the season like a house on fire. He looks tremendous. So you've got 2 quality centre-backs there. And don't forget, guys, and apart from injuries, you shouldn't rotate your centre-backs. If you want a proper defensive unit, your centre-back should never change. Honcho and Hippier. Do you remember when Honcho and Hippier were a partnership under Houllier? They played every week. And then eventually Carragher came in. Carragher and Hippier didn't ever get rested or... I don't... Like your centre-backs, unless they're injured or anything like that, they should play. And then your backup centre-backs are Gomez and Kwanzaa. Then you look at our forward line. Salah, Jota, Diaz, Chiesa, Gakpo, Darwin Núñez. It's the best forward line in the league.
I think it's the best forward line in the world.
It's literally the best forward line right now in the league. I don't know. Real Madrid, I'm going to give Real Madrid.
I think it's better than Real Madrid's. I do. Like 6 players, that good.
I mean, they're good really 6 players, but look.
Really do.
So we've got depth there. It's just the midfield, I suppose. Yeah, I think it's just when you look at the midfield area. No,
one more
if you have
quality.
Look, if we got Zubimendi in summer, we'd have had Zubimendi, Gravenberch,
all right. So
McAllister, that would have been your 4, and then Curtis.
That is all. That's 4 top A plus midfielders. I think at the moment we've only got 3.
Mm.
Like I think Gravenberch is pretty much quite close to an A+, if I'm honest. I
Mm.
think Dom and Mac are A+. Like, I
Yeah.
think Hendo's probably like a B, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Jones is a B, Elliott's a B. You know, if you put one more in there, like, I just think that gets you there, that gets you higher. And with the fact that we've added Chiesa as well. So I think it's only two more, mate. I think we need a left back, real top quality left back that can play centre back, and a midfielder. And I think we're really that close to being able to dominate.
Yeah,
Just do.
that's what I'm saying. If you've got Zubimendi in the summer, you look at Zubimendi, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister. There's your four main central midfielders, and then you use Elliott, Curtis Jones, Endo, and Trey as your extras throughout the season. That's what all the top teams do. It's what Arsenal do. It's what Man City do. It's what Real Madrid do. They use their four main central midfielders, and the others are extras. So that's why I keep saying that Liverpool are one midfielder short. And hopefully they go and do that in January. But I look at our squad and I compare it to all the other squads. I think Man City have got the best squad in the league. There's the 16 players they have are probably getting every team in the league, all their 16 players. So, you look at that and you're like, right, okay, we'll leave that be. I look at Arsenal.
Calafiori's injured, by the way. Calafiori's injured again, by the way.
Yeah, apparently it's not too bad. I'm not sure.
No, but
Calafiori's that bad.
he gets injuries. Like, that's
he does
probably
get
the
a lot
reason
of
why
injuries.
we didn't go for him.
Does get a lot of injuries.
We didn't go for him.
Timber doesn't win many aerial duels as a defender.
Timber's unproven in the Premier League, mate. He's unproven.
Yeah, he's still a bit unproven.
Never played.
Saliba and Gabriel are class, no matter what I just said about the Carnata and Virgil stuff. They're still class defenders. Ben White's not good enough to be a centre back, so that's why he plays right back. And Zinchenko's dog turd. So, and then Martinelli is terrible. Saka's excellent. I'm not going to dismiss Saka, he's excellent. Trossard is an excellent impact forward. Gabriel Jesus is always injured. And then Havertz, you just don't know, do you? He could get 20 goals, he could get 10 goals, he could get 5 goals. You just don't know Havertz. So there's not much, guys, squad-wise. There's not much difference in squads between themselves and Arsenal and everyone else. I'd say Man City got the best. You only have to look at what they can bring on. So they probably got the best. And then under that, you're looking at Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, maybe because of the squad size, you have to put them in there. There's not much difference or lack of quality in areas of the pitch. Everyone's going to have different qualities in the area of the pitch.
I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it this season is it's probably going to be down to the rotation of the squads, which probably get you over the line. Like, when to make the right subs, when to rest the right players. Like a lot of it, and I've said this over and over again. Like, if Slot can come in and mitigate 20 to 30% of that injury that took so many players out of the league last season. Like, at one stage last season, we were missing the goalkeeper, both our left backs, our centre back, our right back, our midfielder, and also our centre forward, and also our right-sided first team player. Like, that's just a fact. Like, we were missing all of those players. Like, if you can mitigate 20%, 30% of that, then that's going to get us, how many points were we off? Like, we were 6 points, was it? Or 6 or 8 points off winning the league last season. That's 20 points there. That's probably 20 points.
And that's like, you go take Arsenal, who's been up there the last 2 years. Take Saliba, Ben White, Declan Rice, and Saka out of Arsenal's team for 6 or 7 games.
But also, you have to.
How well do they actually do? Probably not well, because their squad isn't that great.
But also, you have to look at the workload that they've done over the last 2 years. Like they're going to be in a situation where, just like our old manager did, where he flogged players and he carried on playing them, and they dropped off or they got injuries because those players have consistently played. Like Saka's going to have a drop off or an injury soon. Like, you can't keep on playing that guy all of the time.
Oh, they've
every
got
single
Sterling
game.
now. I forgot that. 29.
Oh yeah, they've got Sterling now. Yeah. Wait till he gets injured.
The thing with Sterling came out before you go on there. The thing with Sterling, and I've spoken to Man City fans
I think he's a
about
good signing,
this.
by the way. I think
he's a good player, but Sterling only works with an out-and-out forward. Go and look at Sterling's career. Look at him at Liverpool. He looked tremendous because he had Sturridge and Suarez, right?
Yeah.
Look at Man City. He was excellent when he had Aguero. You know, he needs that forward to play alongside with. Look at him for England with Harry Kane. Sterling works very, very well when he has an out-and-out striker to play alongside him. When they don't have an out-and-out striker, Sterling's not as... The year before, Man City bought Haaland, and they were basically using... they were using like a false nine, weren't they? And Sterling couldn't get in the team. You know, I think it was that year. I think Sterling struggled. Sterling needs an out-and-out striker. I don't think Sterling is going to be that much of a success at Arsenal. He's 29 years of age now. He's played a lot of football since he was like 16, 17 years of age. I just don't... I think it's a weird signing. I really do. Even Arsenal fans hate it, by the way. Arsenal fans hate the signing of Sterling.
It's costing Chelsea 10 million.
Yeah, Chelsea are paying for him to go there. They're paying for him to go there. Arsenal basically got him for free. They're not even paying for his wages, barely. You know. So yeah, I just look at Liverpool this season. I think injuries are the bane of our existence as Liverpool fans. But I think someone said it earlier. Yeah, someone said it earlier in the chat. Let me get up.
I think Sterling is an Arsenal fan at heart. I think he is. You're right.
Yeah, I think grew up Man United fan. I might be wrong there. Double A says here, Jamie and K-Mac.
That's his next move, mate.
Yeah. He's played for Liverpool, Man City, and now Arsenal. You know, he's going to go and Chelsea. They've played Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. He's only missing Man United. He's only missing Man United. Double A says Jamie and K-Mac, Slot and his coaches have had the lowest injuries out of all the teams in the top 5 leagues over the last 4 years. They managed their squad well, so it shouldn't be a problem. They also, Slot employs, what do you call them? Behind the scenes that looks after players, his fitnesses and diets and all that sort of stuff. And
nutritionalists.
Yeah. And fitness expert. He got a new nutritionist and that he had from Feyenoord, and his fitness expert he had from Feyenoord. And also, I think we just...
Ruben Peters was just in the chat.
And didn't we just... Yeah, is that the new guy we just employed yesterday?
No, there's another guy. I can't remember his name.
He came in yesterday, didn't he? Yeah, he's a technical... Works on the technical side of things. Yeah. So he's coming as well. So... And the way we play, guys, is a lot more about... It's more of a controlled press than a Jurgen Klopp gegenpressing, where it's you press from the first minute to the 90th minute, and you play. Both your fullbacks go forward, everyone goes forward, and it's like a basketball game. Controlled. It's a controlled chaos, as Klopp used to put it, and that's the way we played, and it worked. Look, it worked for Liverpool under Klopp, but in the end, the players were getting too leggy for that to continue.
It was never gonna be sustainable, was it?
No, and so Slot's not going to run the players. Not saying Klopp run the players down. It's just his playing style. You know, I'm not going to diss him for his playing style. It's just his playing style. But Slot, we're probably not going to have as many muscle injuries because of that. So I think injuries will be a lot better this season than it has previously. And of course, you still going to get injuries, guys. Still going to get injuries. How many trophies do you think we'll win? I'm going to come back to that in a minute, Eddie. Why are there no Arsenal fans above 100? Big LFC. I have no idea, man. I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
I've got to shoot off in a bit, mate. All right.
Yeah, we're going to finish up in a sec. So here's my thing on the Liverpool season. I believe most teams this year are going to set up against Liverpool, being not acting like it's Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool instead of Arne Slot's Liverpool, because they don't know enough about Arne Slot yet to know what he's going to play. I've noticed it already. The way Man United set up against us, the way Brentford set up against us, the way Ipswich set up against us, it's counter-attacking football, because everyone's assuming Liverpool going to play extremely high up, fullbacks going to be high up, and we've been sloppy in possession. So if you can press Liverpool into mistakes, you get chances, yeah, and play counter-attacking football. That's how these teams have set up against Liverpool in the first 3 games, because that's the way Jurgen Klopp played. They haven't got enough intel yet on the way Arne Slot's going to play for Liverpool, and that's why I think Liverpool could do something decent this season under Arne Slot and surprise people, because they're going to set up in a way that's, it's Liverpool. Like, we've got years of details on Liverpool, how they played last season, the year before, and the year before. Nothing much has changed. They come to the game, bang, Arne Slot's tactics are a little bit different, catches them by surprise. I don't know about you, man, but I feel like that might be how it goes this year till next season, when they work it out a little bit more. Like players as well. You notice that with players when they come into the league, and teams, like, it's not like they don't know these players, but they're not scouting them and watching their games in other countries when they're Premier League matches. And in the following season, they know how. So, like Salah got 45 goals, whatever it is. He didn't get them many goals the following season because teams started to like double and triple up on him, and that's what happens. And I feel like that's what's Arne Slot's got, that, year grace.
And it's also the fact that, like, when they're interviewing him, he's saying, "Oh, I'm not doing things any different. I'm not changing anything." And then you're watching the game going,
tactics.
Yeah, you change loads of stuff, right?
I will say one thing Slot might have to stop doing is that when he does interviews, talking about his tactics, because eventually people will work it out. But I just think that's a Dutch way. I'm not sure.
Nobody's talking about the tactics that he's done to win the game.
Yeah. And it's just like,
not any weaknesses. He's not saying, "Oh, these are my weaknesses."
I know some people don't like Arne Slot because they think he's big-headed, because he's taking. I think I read some people say that, like, Arne Slot's taking the adulation and saying it's all him, and I'm like,
no, he talks about he doesn't talk about individuals. He talks about the team.
But even if he does, he is the manager.
I don't care. I like listening to. Isn't it refreshing to hear a manager talking about the game for once, and not whinging about officials or fixture pile-ups or the grass was dry? You know what I mean? Like, it's refreshing to hear them talk about, like, this is what we did, and we set up like this, and this is what I said to the guys, and these guys did this, and I'm just like, it's just refreshing. It's good to hear a new voice.
Yeah, it's
instead of hearing the same voices all the time.
I think even the players have made a thing of that recently when they're talking about like they absolutely love the door. Yeah.
What Mo said as well. Mo was like, I was bored of listening to this. I'm like,
and what it is, they absolutely love and adore Jurgen Klopp, and that love and admiration for Jurgen Klopp as the players is never going to leave. But sometimes you just need that. Oh, this is a fresh idea and a fresh voice. It alerts you, because sometimes you can get too comfortable, can't you? You can get too comfortable, and when you get too comfortable, mistakes start to happen in your game, which I think we saw last season, and that's why I think Klopp was right to leave when he left, and that's why I don't hold any grudges, man. LK says October and November is brutal, mate. If we can go through that period, well, we'll be in a title race, but way too early. Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
This is why I always say it's important to pick up your points early. Pick up your points early, because Man City and Arsenal both got a gruel in October and November. So our October and November, as you said, is like.
Can someone put my link in the chat, please, as well? Can someone put my link in the chat, please? Thanks.
So our October is Chelsea, RB's at Leipzig, Arsenal, Brighton, And then we got Leverkusen, Aston Villa, Southampton, Real Madrid, Man City, Newcastle. So it's brutal. That's October and November. It's brutal. But you should see, I think Lee Gunner was doing one on Arsenal yesterday, and he brought up Arsenal's October, and it's Arsenal, Chelsea. Arsenal got to play Liverpool, Chelsea, Champions League game. Then they got,
they got,
I think they got Villa or something like that, and
they got Tottenham as well. Haven't they got Tottenham?
Yeah, they got Tottenham this Sunday, ain't they? Look, Arsenal got Tottenham and Man City in their next 2 games.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They got 2
and a Champions League game. So they got City, they got Tottenham on the weekend, Champions League game, and then City.
I mean, they drew. I mean, they
Everyone's
drew to
got
Brighton,
it.
so they've already dropped 2 points. They could easily drop another 4 points.
Well, if they drop 4 points in the next 2 games, we win our next 2 games.
That's 6 points behind us. Like,
yeah. So you got to take your points early. Just get your points early. Get them on the board. I think Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool have got very hard Octobers and Novembers.
I mean, to be fair, City could drop 2 points as well, though. So that's a draw. Yeah. I mean, ideally, that would be great for us. That's a draw. We could then leapfrog City if we
That's Arsenal's next 3 games.
Oof, Inter Milan. Oh God, that's going to be a hard game.
Spurs, Inter, City. That's their next 3 games.
Points against Inter. They are flying.
Our next 3 games are Nottingham Forest, AC Milan, and Bournemouth. This is why we've got to take our points early, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Get our points early, and when we get to October and November, when we've got that difficult period, that's when we can talk and see what we're really made of. I agree with everyone there. This is why I started a video saying me and K-Mac don't know the future. We're just hyping up what we've seen so far because it's been a good start. And we're asking the question, like the title, it's in the title. What can Liverpool achieve this season? How far can Liverpool go? Can they put in a title challenge? We're not going till about Christmas time. But at this moment in time, on the face of things, I don't think Arsenal have looked that great. I think they've looked terrible, in fact, and lucky to have 7 points.
I don't think they've looked that great.
Villa should have beat them. City have looked tremendous because they got a cheat code. I mean, Haaland's got 2 hat-tricks in 3 games. What you got?
He is ridiculous, isn't he?
The problem with City, they've got no striker in their team apart from Haaland. So
and he gets injuries.
If he picks up an injury, is that say Haaland's out for 4 games, 4 Premier League games, and they play a West Ham again. Without Haaland in that team, they're probably drawing that match. So, that's how good Haaland is. It gets City out of trouble. So it's like Salah for Liverpool. I think the 2 difference makers in the Premier League are Haaland and Mo Salah, personally.
Yeah.
I think they're the 2 difference makers in this league right now, Haaland and Salah, because you can have games where you're struggling and all that, and they can just do something no one else on the pitch can. No one else on the pitch can. And they're both quite similar. They don't need a lot of touches of the ball to do something special. So, I think they're the 2 special players in this league quite a way.
I think Man City got Gundogan back just in case De Bruyne got an injury or Rodri got an injury. I think they brought him back because they're panicking in case they lose any midfielders. Have you heard about Kovacic as well? Kovacic wants to move, doesn't he? He might move in January because they got Gundogan back, which means he's now down the pecking order.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that Gundogan, that could be a smart bit of business by Man City,
It is, isn't it?
It's a player who knows the team like the back of his hand, knows what Pep wants.
Right.
Can just
he was great for Barcelona as well.
Even just carry on. Season. But I know someone said City got 93 points without a striker. I don't think this City team's as good as that City team though. I don't think this is Pep Guardiola's best City side since he's been here. I really don't. I think there's flaws to this City team. But Haaland, like Salah, is a difference maker. He just changes games on his own. So it's going to be an exciting season. Can Liverpool put in a title challenge? I'm hoping they can. Let's see how far they can go. Let's see how far they can go. Let's get to Christmas and see where we land then, guys. But look, it's been a good start to Arne Slot's Liverpool career. 3 wins on the bounce, no goals conceded, different change in team, in personnel. It's looking good so far. Let's see what we can do as a club, and hopefully on Saturday, after we've done this video today, we don't look daft and we pick up the 3 points on Saturday. That's all that matters. So, guys, thank you very much. Yeah, can you imagine if we lose? I'd have to delete this video. Yeah, but big up everyone. Thanks very, very much for joining us. It's
my link's in the chat as well, by the way. If anyone wants to sub to my channel, it's in the chat. Right.
Yeah, I go for it, man. Go and subscribe. Go and subscribe. But big up, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on this Sunday evening. Appreciate it, love. Guys, we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.